here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with another card making tutorial. Obviously you guys know the drill by now, but we are doing cards for our Scrappy Advent calendar this year. This is our 4th year doing our Scrappy Advent calendar, and every year we do 12 homemade gifts and 12 purchase gifts, and we wrap them up and we give them to each other as an Advent calendar. So we decided, 4 years ago, that Advent calendars weren't just for children, and we thought this would be really fun. Now it does form our Christmas presents to each other. I feel like I probably should specify that, because obviously we spend a decent amount of money when you see the purchase gifts that we get for each other. It is our Christmas present to each other. So we do give a small gift to each other on Christmas Day, but it kind of forms part of the Advent calendar. And so we do have a day 25 gift as well. And so, it ends up being our Christmas presents to each other, and it's a lot of fun because it means you get scrapbooking supplies every year. So who can complain about that? So you will notice we've got at least 2 videos on our channel every day. Occasionally we will have 3, because we're also putting up a few regular videos as well for layouts and things for those who aren't really into cards. Plus we have our DT requirements as well. So you'll see quite a bit from us in December. Now we've got our opening videos each day, where one of us is opening our gifts, and then the other video is our card tutorial that goes along with the gift that we opened. I hope that makes sense. That wasn't a very good explanation, but I think most of you have been watching us for a long time, so you probably already know. Now this card is just a bit of fun. It could be used for a kid's birthday card or an adult or anyone really. It's just using a fox stamp, again from Stampin' Up. I don't think they do this one anymore. And some fox paper as well that I've had in my stash for ages. And I end up, there is a punch for these fox kind of stamps, but I do think I punch it all actually. And then I fussy cut out the piece of wood that I stamped. I like to do all my stamping up front, the first thing that I do when I'm putting these cards together, just because it gives it time to dry. Much less likely that I'm going to smudge it. It's pretty good, it's pretty quick drying, but I just like to be sure. Now I just grabbed a little happy birthday stamp I have from a kind of sentiment set that I've got there. It's not the same one that I used in my example card, but that's okay. It was just the one that I had handy. And so these are nice teeny tiny little sentiments. There's lots of different ones. It's kind of handy having a sentiment stamp like that with lots of different options, so that you can just create little sentiment banners and add them into whatever else you want to make for your card. I find them really handy. Now I'm just layering up my card layers for this. So there's quite a bit of layering going on. So I've got 2 different sizes of pattern paper, and then 2 different sizes of the grey cardstock to mat the pattern paper on. And then I made a bit of a mistake here. I've got grey cardstock out, but I end up pulling out white cardstock for my card base, which is what I was supposed to have. I just clearly went on automatic pilot when I was prepping everything. And so I do put this onto white cardstock, not grey, because I matted my pattern paper in grey. I obviously then didn't want to put it on grey cardstock. So I do grab out a piece of white cardstock and I just cut it in half. Now I've cheated a little bit. So my trimmer is in inches, which is great when you live in Australia. And so I've got a little black dot on my trimmer, which is where half an A4 piece of cardstock is, so I can easily just line it up to that little black dot and cut it in half. I find that very handy. So if you're someone who makes a lot of cards, don't be afraid to put a little black dot on your trimmer like I did. It just means I don't have to remember what half an A4 size cardstock is in inches, which is what my trimmer is in. Hot tip. It also doesn't measure well in inches. I've put an approximate measurement down below, but it's not exact because it kind of goes into the 1/16 of an inch, I think. It's not perfect. But the rest of my measurements are in inches because, as I said, that's all that I have a trimmer in. So I know it's a bit frustrating. Sorry for you guys in Australia, or actually anywhere but the US, who doesn't use inches and uses centimeters. But I'm really sorry. It's in inches. I know, very American of me, but that's okay. That's my trimmer is American and it's in inches. What can I say? Now, I forgot when I was stamping that I wanted to put little eyes on my foxes, so I pulled back out my brown ink and just add my little eyes and nose to my foxes there, and I needed to add the legs to the bodies as well. So I just have to stamp those out quickly. Can't believe I forgot, but I did. So we're just stamping those out now, and then I'll come in with the punch and I will punch out all the little bits that I need to put my fox together. So that's all I'm doing really. And then this card, you just stick the fox together and it's done. They're pretty simple. I make one card from my stash, which is a little less simple, but it is still pretty simple. I find cards, there's some beautiful stamps specifically for card making, like lawn fawn stamps. I just think are stunning, and there's so many like really intricate things you can do with them, which look amazing. And if I had an endless bank balance, I would probably be investing in quite a few of those, and then starting to perfect some of my techniques with card making. But alas, I put my focus into scrapbooking. So apart from my Stampin' Up! Stamps, I don't really have anything else, and so I just use what I have, but I am so impressed with the people who make really intricate cards. I don't do that. So most of these card making tutorials that I'm doing are pretty basic. So there's so many wonderful card makers on YouTube. So I'm hoping that you're following some of them if you are, wanting more card making inspiration. But for me, I just like basic, simple cards that I can throw together that don't take too long, and I can, whip together for any occasion. And I've also got a few girlfriends that like to come over and, use my supplies and make cards as well, which is lots of fun. And we love hanging out. I love hanging out with them and making cards together. So I'm just fussy cutting out, as I said, the little wooden piece that the fox sits on. There's no dies for these, so I'm just a quick fussy cut. It's not very tricky because it's a round shape. So I'm just chopping. How are you guys enjoying December so far? I hope you are having a wonderful month. I'm pretty sure this card is coming up later in the month. I can't remember. I'm doing this voiceover quite late in November. I think it's only a few days away until December. I've had a ridiculously busy end to the year, and particularly a very busy end to November, which was a bit unexpected. But we've had a lot of things going on, and so it's kind of put me quite behind. But that's okay. These things happen. Family first, right? So I'm just sort of catching up with my voiceovers and scheduling everything and getting everything all ready for December. But I can't remember exactly when this card is coming up. So I think it's towards the end of the month. So I hope you've enjoyed it so far. I hope you're enjoying watching us open our gifts and make cards for each other. I'm very excited. We love this time of the year, and it's safe to say both Jess and I very much enjoy, putting these advent calendars together for each other. Mine to Jessica this year, you will have seen, has quite a theme going on. If she hasn't picked that up already, she should have by now. But I decided she needed more of something, and I got a lot more of that something. So hopefully she enjoys it. But yeah, we find this a lot of fun. And as I said, it's a nice way to get scrapbooking supplies, particularly since Jess and I try not to buy too much throughout the year. Jess is part of the Kidaholic Kits design team, so she gets that kit every month anyway, so she gets lots of great new scrappy goodies to play with. And I usually do buy a few things throughout the year, but I try really hard not to buy too much. I've gotten better in the last sort of 12 months. I mean, COVID helped because I was stuck at home and, didn't go shopping that much. And then in 2021, I am going to try even harder to use my stash. So I'm sort of going to try and come up with a bit of a rule to, try and use up a collection before I purchase a new one. That's kind of going to be my, I'm gonna give it a try. Tell me if you want me to film some of that process so you can sort of see me, yeah, using up my stash that way. But I think that might work well for me. I quite like concentrating on one particular collection, and I've got a few that are kind of almost done that wouldn't be too difficult to get moving. So let me know if you want me to film that, and I will in 2021. But this is it. I'm just sticking my sentiments on for this card and looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow in our next video. So here comes the close-ups. It's a cute little card. As I said, just a cute little birthday card. It could be used for anyone. Great to have in the cupboard when you just need to pull out a little birthday card. So thank you guys. I hope you're enjoying December, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.